All right. I think we got her set up. See if I can find the stream on my laptop so I can see comments and questions. There it is. Oh, nice. All right, we'll mute that. So I got me sitting by the green screen right now. I was doing some videos earlier today, which this makes it kind of cool to be able to upload basically any image that I want on the screen here, and I can pretty much put whatever I want up there. So I could be anywhere at any time with this green screen, which is pretty neat. I'm going to be using this screen a lot for some of the bowling combat videos that are coming. So I went and I bought a big stand and set up with lighting and everything, so that way I was able to do it the right way and it doesn't look cheesy. So a video that's uploading today talking about push away actually will you'll be able to see, and it's done in front of a green screen, but it actually looks like I'm in the bowling center. So I just gave you my secrets. But oh, we got, can MRB help me find a ball? Find all my stats, axis tilt, axis rotation, rev rate, and ball speed. We could definitely find your positive axis. You could find your tilt and rotation, ball speed. I mean, you could get a rough estimate, but we don't have what is it called? That track thing, bowler ID, I think it's called. We don't have that, but we have the ability of doing it old school style. So yeah, we could definitely find it for you. Take a look at all those things and see what we need to do. If you got to change fit to get whatever type of rotation that you're desired, that's kind of one of the cool things. And that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit today, is just some of the things you can do to make your fit feel better, things you need to be on the lookout for when it comes to your fit, things you need to be trying to do to get the ball off your hand the proper way and consistently each time. So that's kind of one of those things that I want to look at. Practicing to be a weatherman. Yep. See, over here, you could see that it is very sunny and clear skies. Yeah, no, it ain't going to work for me. It ain't going to work right. But otherwise, Wayne, I'm doing good. Appreciate you coming on. But one thing, like I said, I want to talk a little bit about fit and a little bit of the mental game. I bowled a regional this weekend where I went in fairly not too confident. I mean, I was feeling better because I had did some work, did a lot of practice on working on 4-step. So this was my first event going in using 4-step approach. So it was going to be, I wasn't sure what was really going to happen, I guess you'd say. But it seemed to have gone okay. I mean, my low game was 197, and that was with a split in the 10th. So I bowled 137 over for the 7 games, which was good enough for 8th in qualifying. I took 12. It took 82 over. So made that first cut. And then I actually bowled really, really well in match play, starting the second match. I won the first match 2-0. We just, for some reason, they were a lot tighter going into match play. And my opponent lost his look. I lost my look. I won the first match 170-something to 140-something. And then the second game, I bowled a little bit better game, bowled 2-teen. And he didn't bowl a very good game. So I won 2-0 on that match. And then moving on, I had to bowl Justin Knowles the second round. And him and that dang purple hammer, man. Like those lefties, they love that purple hammer. And he makes it look good everywhere, and it was really hard to beat. The first game, I actually was up early on him. I started out really good. I was on 270 pace through like 7 frames, and then I 4-9'd in like the 8th or 9th frame, I think. It was the 8th frame. I 4-9'd, and it was a pretty good shot. It wasn't the greatest shot. I'm not going to tell you it was perfect, but it was a pretty good shot. A little unfortunate to leave the 4-9, which then opened the door back up for him. And he ended up throwing the rest of them for 230 something. So I needed a double in the 10th to shoot 240. I got the first one, and then I threw the second one terrible. Went 6 through the face. And so I bowled 220 to lose that game. And then the next game, both of us pretty much lost our look. And going into the 10th frame, I blower 710 to shoot 191. So there wasn't a whole lot I could do there. All he then needed was just a mark, and he did, and he bowled 198 with a mark in the 10th. So, I mean, just a couple situations where a couple hits go your way and you end up winning the match, and, you know, but then again, same time, you know, if I throw a couple of better shots, then those couple of bad hits don't matter. So I'm not gonna say that the bad hits or the bad breaks were what caused me to lose. It was more so the few bad shots that I threw. If I don't throw those bad shots, then those bad breaks don't matter. So that's just kind of how it goes. What do we got here? Hello, I'm relatively new to bowling. Watching several of your video and tips are most helpful. Very good. Thanks, Robin. Appreciate that. Glad you like them. Thanks, Rita. Appreciate the compliment there. I had to switch to two-hand because the thumb was getting tore up and have an artery in the way. Hard on the back now from two-handed bowling. Know any good back or hip exercises? I mean, I would be stretching a lot. If the back is usually related to your hamstrings, so stretch your hamstrings a lot. And then the hip, you can kind of do one of these things where you put your leg up here and try to get your leg as high as possible, you know, and press down on the leg and gets into your hip a little bit there. You can do that with both legs. Easier to do when you're on the floor because then you can just kind of have your knees bent up. But some things I would be just stretching an awful lot. Headed to my first regional soon. Any pointers you can give me for my first experience? I mean, just make your spares. I mean, scores aren't ever really that high at regionals, so you don't really have to shoot lights out. It's not an actual, I mean, it is a PBA event, but it's not an actual, like, you don't see all the big stars. You'll see a few of them, but you're not going to see an awful lot of them. And most times you see an awful lot of normal guys like me out at the regional tour. So you don't get to see, it's not as difficult. The competition's not as steep. It's still more than your local tournaments by quite a bit, but it's not like a national event. You know, you're not going to see everybody averaging 240 or 230, so you're not going to need anything big. Spares take a big role in the regional circuit, so make sure you make your spares out there. But who won the regional? That was a lefty. I can't remember. I don't know, a lefty won. I couldn't remember. I can't remember his name. What do we got here? What's the numerical equivalent for urethane cover stock, please? I wouldn't even worry about that, just because you know what urethane does. So trying to put it in your lineup, just put it in your line and call it good. Don't even try to put it in an area because you know what it does compared to everything else. So it's not going to matter the number of whatever it comes out to be, because it's not even going to give you a true number anyway, because urethane is just so weird. Because technically urethane bowling balls are the strongest balls on the market. They're just, those cover stocks are just so much stronger. They hook so early, and that's kind of what they do. I mean, that's why people use them, is because they hook so early and they just kind of stop. Gives you the illusion that they're going straight. So I wouldn't even worry about putting a number on it. Made the 710. Yes, I did. That was pretty cool. I'm glad you guys saw that video. That was pretty neat. I'm 44, so not like the young pups bowling. That won't break down easy. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Just make sure you stretch a bunch. Use a 15-pound ball, about 132 pounds. Do you think I should use lighter? So the way you can test, grab a 15-pound ball. Don't put your fingers in it, but just set the ball on your hand. If you can hold it straight out like this, without resting your elbow on your hip, but if you can hold it straight out like this for, I'd say, like 5 seconds, then you have no problem. You should be using at least 15 pounds then. If you can't hold it out there for more than a second and just forces you to drop, I would think about lightening weight. But it's more beneficial to use a higher weight if you can. So I wouldn't be trying to use too much lighter weight. Low rev, low speed player. Is the baller good for me? I think the baller is good for everybody, to be honest. I mean, I got to use it a little bit this weekend. Not a lot. It's stronger than I thought. So yeah, if you're low rev, you're definitely going to want this ball because it is stronger than it looks, and it's stronger than I originally thought it was. It hooks the entire lane, basically. I can do whatever I want with it. So yeah, that baller is going to be something for everybody. I've tried from one of your previous videos to work on not wrapping the ball around my back. Any suggestions? Actually, that's one of the videos I just made about the push away. If you're wrapping the ball around your back, you visually, you need to be able to see yourself swinging it straight, or visually be able to over-exaggerate the push away to get it to do the opposite of what you normally do. Because most times when you push it to the right, it's going to wrap back behind your body. And you need to over-exaggerate, making yourself feel like you're pushing it to the left side of your body and get that ball to get straighter in your swing rather than, you know, going right to left. It needs to go left to right, or at least feel like it's going left to right. Dang, I don't know what happened, but evidently I lost it. Buffering, not buffering. How do I switch this back around? There we go. Ha ha. Okay. Are we back? Should be back. All right, I should be able to just... refresh that. Should be back. Oh, dang ads. Where are these people that make these ads on this thing? I tell you what. Skip ad. There we go. All right, we're back. We're good. I don't know what happened, but we are back. I want to go back and see what some of these comments said. Oh, hate bowling against your thing. Yeah, so anyway, so what I was saying about the yo-yo, a lot of people they go straight to the yo-yo, and then they'll, instead of doing everything properly, they go straight to the yo-yo, and then they just get to the release, and then they just break down and they go thumb forward, and they don't do anything properly. And this might not last much longer because my son just woke up, so he might come out here and bug me. But so we'll talk for a couple minutes until he can no longer handle it, and then we'll kind of call it good. But anyway, sent you first video by the end of last week. Is there any chance for me to send my second one this week? Yeah, Eric, go ahead, do that. Send if I didn't send you a response to the first one, I'll get that done here in the next couple of days, and then wait until you work on those things a little bit to send it. As long as we do it by the end of the week, we'll be okay for virtual lessons. He's talking about virtual lessons to where you can send me a video and then we work on those things, and I will key in on a lot of the things that need to be fixed and worked on. So that's where that is. Go over to patreon.com/lifetractioncontrol if you want to be on there. All right, so we're going to talk. I'm going to try to, okay, I got to as many comments as I could right away. So I want to talk real quick a little bit about the fit and some of the things you need to be looking for. There's not a right or wrong way to have your ball fit. But what I'm going to tell you is one of these things that it actually helps a lot of people, and it's pretty common that people look for this when they're, you know, trying to get their ball to fit properly. But they're looking for standing on the approach, and they're trying to, hi buddy, come here. Ugh. And they're trying to be standing on the approach where they say, man, I don't think this thing's going to come off my hand. And it's because it's so tight. But then when they go and release the ball, it flies off their hand really, really fast in the proper direction and everything they want. So tape is really important when it comes to fit. Now, if you aren't squeezing the ball properly, because you have to squeeze, and those people that say don't squeeze the ball, what they really mean to say is they mean squeeze the ball properly, and then you will get to, and then you're gonna mess up the microphone, buddy. Squeeze the ball properly, and then the ball will come off your hand consistently every time, and you don't have to worry about anything. But he just got a haircut, so now he looks all good. He's looking all handsome and stuff. That's my man. But anyway, so you're looking for standing on the approach saying, man, this ball's not going to come off my hand, and we're going to use tape to tighten it up. So by putting tape higher, I made a video on this. We talk about tape. By putting tape higher in the thumb hole near the ridge towards the top of the circle or the oval, whatever you use, you can get the ball to stay on your hand a little longer to get more pressure on this part of your thumb right here. Now you put the tape a little bit lower, and then the ball will come off your hand a little bit quicker. So you need to insert tape in these areas in one way or another, some fashion, to get it to feel like it's tight enough to where it's not going to reposition in your swing. Because a lot of people, they'll get their thumb in the ball and then they'll swing the ball, and then their thumb will kind of slip a little bit, so then it forces them to squeeze, to hold on to it, and then they continue through their approach. If you get to, yeah, don't break that. Just keep it right there, okay? But if you get to a point where it never slips off your hand. You have control the entire way, and you can just squeeze properly or with a straighter thumb, not having to go crooked this way, then you are able to consistently release the ball over and over again. Yeah, we're on camera, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, all the lights and stuff. It's pretty cool, huh? It's pretty neat. Can you say hi? Quit picking your nose behind the chair. All right. So anyway, so go watch that tape video where you can kind of learn how to tape your thumb hole properly. If you don't have an oval thumb in your ball, I would consider looking into it. I'm not saying you have to have an oval, but I just feel like having it a little bit wider side to side helps make it to where you have more control of the ball. Because where the swelling actually comes is from side to side. If I go like this, and most people, they measure the thumb based on you just holding like this, and they'll measure the sides of their thumb and they'll drill to that width. Problem is when I press down on something, so like when you get into the bowling ball and you press down, your thumb actually expands a little bit because of the skin and the fluid and everything, the buildup around your knuckles. So you need that extra room, and that's why you swell up even more, is because now when you press down, that stuff that's touching the side, the skin, the fluid, all that buildup is you're seeing friction, and it's causing the expansion even more. It's causing you to swell. It's feeling itself getting beat up, so it's saying, I need to protect myself, and that's where fluid buildup comes from. And that's mostly where swelling is, or what swelling is when they do that. So trying to eliminate that as much as possible, giving yourself enough room to where you don't really feel that friction on the sides, will definitely help your fit as well. But make sure you go back, watch the tape video, tape your ball properly. You don't have to do anything crazy with the tape. If you need extra grip, if you feel like no matter how much you put on the front, you don't have enough grip, you could put one piece of tape on the back side, and that will give you a little bit of grip on the back, which will help close down that gap as well. Some people, you get in between tape, where if you put a piece of tape in and it's too much, you hang up in it, and then you take a piece of tape out and it's not enough, you drop it. And you can use a couple different things, like the grip strips from Turbo are a good one because they're a little bit thicker. They are double layered adhesive, so they're a little bit thicker than a normal white tape. So if you're in between tape, you can take one of those big pieces out and put one of the smaller white pieces in, so where it's not as thick, and that helps a little bit. The one downfall, I guess I would say, from Turbo, the grip strips is, I don't think they last as long. I think they roll up a little bit quicker. So, I mean, it's give and take there. I guess you kind of go with the good end, roll with the good and roll with the bad. But you get, I think my kid's back here pooping. He stands back somewhere and he just takes a dump where nobody can see him. So hopefully he's going to clean himself up back there. But anyway, that's some of those things you can look at. Look at the oval thumb. Look at the span. If a lot of the people, what they won't teach you is with your pitches. I'm going to try to be directly to the side here so you can see. With your pitches and your ball, with your hand relaxed, if you pull back on your thumb, this will kind of give you an idea. When you start to see the stretching right up in here, this will kind of give you an idea of how much reverse you can use, or if you shouldn't be using reverse. Now, if your thumb is to like here and that's as far as you can go, you can see where my thumb is angled. Obviously, you should have a little bit of forward. Like for me, when I pull back, that's as far as it goes without me having to stretch my thumb back. Like I can pull it back farther, but I have to stretch it back to get it there. And so I don't need that much reverse. So I actually go with a quarter forward so I can then relax my hand a little bit more and not have all that pressure on this area. So paying attention to your hand and the flexibility there is really important to knowing what kind of pitches you should have in your ball. So focus on this part, the webbing, basically, on how much it stretches and how much you can go back with it. And you can kind of tell whether you need different pitches or not. Because feeling like you're going to drop the ball is one of the worst things ever. And then feeling like you're going to hang up on the ball is just as bad. So we need to get in between. We need to feel like the ball's going to just fly off our hand. So that's pretty much all I got tip-wise for fit and that stuff. So we need to just kind of pay attention to those few tips, see if those help you at all in any way, shape, or form. But otherwise, the last thing I kind of want to talk about is where I was at, I told you I wasn't very confident walking into the tournament this weekend because I've changed so many different things, and now I've got a bunch of different bowling balls in my bag that I've been on EBI staff for so long. Now I've got Brunswick balls in my bag and Storm balls in my bag and Motive balls in my bag and on and on and on. So I'm trying to basically go best guess on what bowling balls I need to be using and have with me each week. And I think I did a pretty good job this week, but I was walking in not sure if I had the right balls. I wasn't sure if the 4-step was, if I was ready to go into competition with it. But it was a confidence builder, and that's where we kind of go with this, is we want to build as much confidence as we can, and that's what practice is for. You practice these things to try to get better and to see yourself do the things that you know need to happen. And then when we get into competition, we kind of just let it go. We just go bowl. And so my focus was just simply finding one focus section. For me, it was just literally watching my ball roll through a target, and that was it. And that's all I focused on most of the week. And the times when I was bowling, the games that I didn't have great games, it was because my focus went away from that, and which caused some problems and made it to where I lost a little bit of focus and I lost some shot making. But otherwise, everything seemed to be pretty good. So routine was a big thing for me, making sure I did the same thing. I wiped the ball down the same way each time, left my hand over the blower for the same amount of time each time, and pretty much did the same thing before each shot to make sure I could repeat everything. The more things you do that you can repeat, and the easier it is to repeat, the better off. And that's kind of why I went to 4 steps as well. I think 4 steps for me is a little bit easier to repeat than 5 steps, because what if I, for you, for instance, what if you take one time you take 5 steps and it's perfect, and the next time that first step is a little bit shorter and you don't even mean to make it shorter, but it is. And now your timing and your tempo is off just a little bit, and it's just that extra step gives you that one more thing. And I'm not telling anybody that they should go to 4 steps. I'm just telling you why I did. I think it eliminated that one step that that gave me one too many variables that I could do wrong, and it just simplified things for me a little bit, and I could focus on something other than, okay, well, this doesn't feel right or that doesn't feel right. So I was able to get into a good spot mentally because I could zone in and focus only on one spot, one thing, rather than, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to make sure I don't do this, make sure I don't do that, and there's just all kinds of things you normally think about. So for me, that's kind of just what worked out there, but I don't know what's going to work for everybody else. I just can kind of give you what I'm doing, and hopefully it kind of helps you in some way, shape, or form. I'm not really sure, but I'll go through a couple of comments here real quick. To hook the ball more. I think my kid just broke something. That ain't good. He did. To hook the ball more, they say use more fingers, and others say more hand cupping. What's your input? It's both. It's not lifting, it's rolling. It's rolling through the ball, from cupped to uncupped, and rolling your hand through the ball. So go back and watch some of the videos that I made, and you'll be able to see it a little bit better. But it's difficult to put it all together right away. It's something you're going to have to learn over time for sure. What's your take on using finger inserts with or without? I'm a big fan of the ovals, using ovals rather than lifts, just because I don't want the extra grab. I don't want the extra everything else in it. So I try to use the ovals as much as possible. But I am a fan of using grips because it's the same feel from ball to ball, because the material of the bowling balls are all different. So you never know what you're actually going to get. But wishing you all the best, JR. Your content has always been great, and keep enthusiasm up when in a slump. Appreciate that. Thank you. I love hearing comments like that, because it is tough to try and stay motivated and try to stay enthusiastic for the audience, and not just going through the motions and anything. My kid's right by the camera, so if he knocks it over, that's going to be the end of the show. Get all your stats and go on the Radical fan page. Mo Pinnell will set you up with good layout. Cool. That's a good idea. Yeah, Mo's got some videos out there too where he can help an awful lot of people with some of the things that he does. He talks a little bit more on the technical side of things. So if you're more of an advanced bowler, definitely go and check that out. And I'm going to try to dumb things down as much as possible. So make it a little bit easier to understand. But appreciate you guys coming in. I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to jump on for a minute for the day. I'm going to try to do this more often. I keep telling you that. I'm going to practice a little bit live every so often. I'm going to go on live like this every so often, so that way you guys can kind of get a little bit of an inside view, a little bit of inside scoop, and I'm going to update you on tournaments because I'm going to be bowling a lot more. I got a regional in 2 weeks. I'm going to be bowling again in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm not going to go to the U.S. Open this week. It was up in the air whether I was going to go or not. I don't feel mentally prepared to go out there yet. So I'm going to wait, and then I will bowl. Once January comes around, PBA Tour starts up full time again. So I'll be traveling at all the stops starting in January through pretty much all of the year. So I'm going to try and get the family to travel around with me a little bit and do a couple stops with me and have some fun. So I'm out of here. We'll see you guys later. If you got any questions or anything, make sure to hit the comments below. Make sure to go over to bowlerx.com's YouTube channel and subscribe over there. Bowling Combat is coming. Hopefully this week. If not this week, it'll be next week. It'll be this month for sure. I'm just finishing up some touches on getting the bowlerx.com website all up to date and figured out to where you can go and vote and get your entries in for contests and win bowling balls and stuff, because we're giving away a ball every week for the entirety of the bracket. So it's going to be, I think it comes out to like 18 bowling balls that we're giving away weekly. So pay attention to that. You'll see it on this channel. I'm going to post them. I'm going to be uploading the Bowling Comment on both channels, this channel and that channel. But make sure to subscribe over there. Everything's going to be a little different on Bowler X channel. And for product wise, you can go over there and make sure if you're not, already in loyal. My kid's about to puke. If you're not loyal with the pro shop already and you like to go online and get things, make sure to use bowlerx.com and use discount code JRX to get you a little bit of a discount. But oh yeah, see, there he is right there on the comments. You got that. What? All right, Wayne, sounds good. We'll see you hopefully you say Thursday. Yeah, Mason will be there, so make sure to see Mason up there if I'm not there. Thursday, I have no idea what I've got going on Thursday. I'll have to look at the calendar. But yeah, anybody in the area, definitely come and see me. I'm up there most times throughout the weeks. And on your channel, be signing up soon for virtual lessons. Appreciate that. Yeah, I like the virtual lessons. I try to get to them at least twice a month because I do have people who get 2 a month. So I try to get to them as quick as I can, but there are a lot of them. There's almost 50 people on there now. So I try to get to them as quick as I can. Some people get a little impatient, and I understand. So I try to be as quick as possible. I'm working on them again this week. I got a bunch that are owed a second video for this month coming in. And then some like to wait to send me video. So, but yeah, if that's something you want to do, make sure you hit it up, and it's at patreon.com/lifetractioncontrol. Or if you just want to support the channel, because I got to constantly buy stuff to make the content better, like lights and green screens and all this good jazz. So definitely definitely appreciate all the support that I can get on this whole thing. But I will see you guys later. I'm going to shine off. So take care.